Y'all see that?
Hold up, 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 hold up.
Hey you guys, so welcome back to another video. And I know I'm looking a little rough, but I'm going to be showing you guys how I trim my hair whenever I flat iron it. I haven't flat ironed my hair in a long time. Usually it's always in a wig or in something. So I want to kind of show you the process that I do to lay down. Because as you guys can see, I have a lot of hair. Now, I want to show you kind of how I got to this process here with my hair being completely pulled out and blow dried out. So I normally, after I wash my hair, I put them into, you know, these sections here. So normally when I'm about to blow dry my hair, I always have a water bottle that has either a little bit of conditioner, detangler, and this is the detangler that I use, but you can really use any one that you want. This is just the one I use. So I normally have 1 part conditioner, 1 part water, 1 part detangler, and this one I think I only have conditioner and water in this, but I always keep my hair in the braids. When it's time for me to do it, I'm going to go ahead and just spray it down. I don't have any detangler in it, so I'm gonna just put a detangler here. It's very, very important that you completely make sure your hair is pulled out. And I'm so rude. How is y'all New Year's going? I know y'all been seeing all this craziness going down at the Capitol. That's just some crazy, that's some foolishness. So now it's fully. Now some people blow dry their hair with cool setting. I use hot because I just want it as nice and straight as possible. But you do what you feel like is best, sis. And there you go. It's all pulled out and as straight as possible. I'm gonna run the blow dryer through my hair, through the whole head one more time, and I'll be back with our next step. Okay, so now we have it completely blown out, and I am going to go ahead and flat iron majority of my hair. I'm gonna come back for the front portion so I can show you guys how I trim the hair. Now, if y'all want to see an in-depth video of how I flat iron my hair, I'm gonna link it up here because I've done it before. Nothing new on how I flat iron. You just need a good flat iron, baby. You'll be able to keep your hair nice and straight. So I'll be back to show you guys how to trim. Give me about however long it takes to bring it to you guys. So I'm in the process of flat ironing the back, and I kind of wanted to show you something. So I'm not a professional. Let's get that out of the way right now. I'm not a professional. This is just what I do, and this is what I've learned over the years of doing my own hair. Let's start with just me flat ironing the back. When you look at your hair, you can kind of see the split ends in your hair. Like, split ends are basically just that little dead part in your hair that doesn't do anything for your hair. Like, it look like it make your hair longer, but it's really not making your hair longer. It's just dead ends that's stuck on the end of your hair. So I'm gonna just flat iron this one more time so you guys can kind of see it a little better. So when I start cutting my split ends, ow, fuck, ow, I burnt myself. When you start cutting your split ends, I do it row by row. I know that real hairstylists don't do it this way. They kind of look at your hair and then go in, but I can't see everything. I go row by row. So right off the bat, I know, and I feel like when it comes to split ends, you should cut what you feel comfortable cutting. People be going to the real hairstylist and they be cutting off damn near all of their hair, and they leave that chair feeling sick. So cut what you feel comfortable for. Personally, when it comes to me and hair, I'll cut my hair. I've cut a whole braid by accident and my hair has grown back and flourished. So personally for me, cutting the hair doesn't bother me. So where I'm gonna cut is right above here. I'm gonna cut like right there. I have cut a good amount of my split ends the last time I've done this, so I don't mind cutting it. Boom. See, and I could still cut some more up here, but I'm not. And another thing you should know about cutting your split ends is unless you are like a mother who is doing your child's hair, you'll get a better view of the split ends. But if you're doing your split ends, then you kind of have to eyeball everything yourself. Now, when you're doing it and eyeballing yourself, do not get cut happy. Do not get scissor happy. Like literally, if you're gonna cut it from one angle, kind of look at where the other piece that you have to cut. And I always re-flat iron so I can really see where it's at. So you see how I kind of cut from up here? And then I'm gonna go back in and kind of do the same thing. If you guys can see. My split ends are kind of, if you really want to let your split ends be like from here to all the way to the end. But I'm not about to cut that much hair off because I personally don't feel like I need to. I plan on getting my hair bleached soon. So yeah. And just like that. So as you can see, let me get a little closer. If you guys can kind of see it, it looks a little better than when all that split end is sitting there. So I'm gonna continue flattening my hair. I'll be back. Okay, so 2 hours later, like flat ironing my hair takes so long, so much work. Like, I feel like, what time is it? It's 4:11. I feel like I started doing this at about 2 o'clock, but whatever. So as you guys can see, this is the side that is fully flat ironed, and I also trim my ends. Now I want to show you how I trim my ends, but I'm gonna do it on this side, a good portion of the hair, so you guys can kind of see what I am doing. So first things first, I use a heat thermal protectant for my hair because I always have my flat iron, which is some raggedy flat iron that I use on the highest setting. I always have it at like 450, which I know I shouldn't, but I want a flawless flat iron. I really don't like my flat iron. I used to have a one that was way better. I spent like $200 on it, and I had it for 7 years and it broke. So now I'm stuck with, I just bought a raggedy one from the beauty supply store. So, all right, so I'm gonna get closer so you guys can start seeing what I'm doing. We're gonna just part that, make sure everything is fine. So what you're gonna do is brush it out, spray it And then you're just going to flat iron it. Don't mind what's coming out of it, the air. It's just because I put the little protectant on there. It makes it a little bit smoky. Always chase it when I'm doing it. I don't know if you guys can see. Right here is a good amount of split ends. Like right there. Let me move this. About right here is a good amount of split ends. You could tell the split ends because it kind of just, the hair gets, it's thick here and then it gets stringy right there. That's where your split ends is. When it's stringy there, that's where your split ends are. So I'm gonna flat iron it one more time, a few more times, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I cut the split ends. See that little stringy part right there? Wherever it doesn't get thick anymore and it's just length, you think it's length, sis, it's not length, it's split ends. So, get up close. So normally with my split ends, I usually can eyeball where exactly I want to cut. Now this is your first time, you probably don't want to eyeball. I would say hold your hand like this on your hair and stop at where you feel comfortable. And I'm like right here. And boom, there you go. Now, I know that this is gonna match this because it's like, it's hard to explain it, but you kind of know what you've cut on this side and you kind of know finger length where you want to stop. Usually your split ends all grow, to me, I feel like they all grow kind of the same. Personally, I feel like, I'm gonna just go back in there and kind of clean up what I did. And I cut it straight across. Straight across. So then once I cut it, I'm gonna go right back in and flat iron again. Now as you can see, there's still more split ends here. The last time I cut my split ends, I cut up to here, but I don't want to do it that much because frankly, I just don't want to. I don't want to because I don't want my hair that short right now because I have pictures to take tomorrow with my hair like this. So I'd rather give like a cute bob look than do the uneven cutting. So now we're gonna section off again and we're gonna do a few more. And I have psoriasis, so if you guys see me doing this a lot, it's because my psoriasis is horrible. As we can see, more split ends. We got more split ends here. So we got more split ends. My split ends come about here, but I'm only cutting about there. So you can either cut it this way, which I don't like, or I cut it downward so I can make sure it's straight across. Then I'll go back in and flat iron. Some people don't cut their split ends because they don't want to. Personally, whenever I haven't like washed my hair or let my hair breathe, I always do a sort of split end cutting because your hair, like literally your split ends are stopping your hair from flourishing and growing, sis. So you have to cut it. As much as you don't want to, you have to. Now, I'm not a professional, like I said, and I know some people, my homegirl was telling me she goes to a professional that does her split ends really well. But So I'm gonna show you guys another one. So let's see if I can find the split ends here. This one is a bit thicker, but my split ends stop right about here. But a hairstylist would probably cut more, but this is where I feel comfortable. But I'm not gonna cut that far, so I'm gonna cut right there. You kind of gotta like eyeball it and watch where you're cutting. Boom. Y'all see that? So I'm gonna speed up through the rest, and then when I get towards the end, I'll show you guys how I finish it off. Okay, you guys, we are at the last piece. The last piece, and we are done. So with the last piece, it's gonna be the same thing. I mean, this hair it's a little bit more than others, but I'm over it. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything since I woke up this morning, and I need some food in my stomach. So I sprayed it down already. And we are literally gonna do the same step. Literally the same step. I'm not left-handed, so I'm horrible with the comb. Keep it nice and tight. But keep it nice and tight while you're pulling. Come on, class, we're gonna find where your split ends start. So my split ends would start about here. I know that seemed like a lot. It seemed like a lot of hair. This is where my split ends start. Cause before then, it's pretty thick. Technically, it could start up here. But I'm going to cut about here. So it's all about eyeball. Literally, it's all about eyeballing. Once you can eyeball what you're comfortable taking out of your split ends, you go from there and you cut straight across. And if you feel like the cut is uneven, then you go back and fix it. I can see the split ends already. Once you start doing this yourself constantly, you'll always be able to see your split ends. Y'all see that? Just chase it with the comb. Once I start chasing it, I can see my split ends. Oh, fuck! I burnt myself again. Technically, for this, my split ends start here. My split ends will start right here. But I'm only cutting about right here. I'm only cutting about here. Right there. That's where I'm cutting. Why am I cutting right there? Because that's what I feel comfortable with. And also, it's still, since I've cut my split ends already recently down, I cut my hair like a lot. Like, it was the point when last time I did my split ends, I cut like up to here. So my hair has grown back. So I'm not gonna continuously keep cutting my hair, because you know, I still like to see my little growth. So, and I'm gonna link again my flat iron video if you guys want to see how I flat iron my hair flat. But as you guys can see, I'm gonna cut all my split ends. Isn't that so cute? Now something that I normally do, I'll come back here just to make sure, just to kind of flat iron my little BDBs. Because sometimes those could be left. But that is it, you guys. That is how I trim my split ends to give me a fresh looking face. So that is it. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. And y'all have a great new year.